Look at this. It is a head bobbing Snoopy for Halloween. Oh yeah, this is gonna be used in videos. It's a foam one. But it's my OMG pumpkin. He's like, OMG.
OMG pumpkin. Hashtag OMG.
And then I got my Snoopy over here. He's just jamming out by the window. Hey guys, it is a beautiful morning. Of course, the sunlight's still not out yet. That, by the way, is a huge hiccup that I've been facing with live streams. I don't like to live stream in the dark because you can't see me. You can't see anything. I have the truck all decorated for Halloween, so happy early Halloween, everybody. But anyway, I am going to hit the road. I definitely wanted to give you guys some exclusive content, some videos just for you guys. Since it's still dark, I'm running late. By the way, I think once we hit daylight savings time, I should be like well in the sunlight by 6 a.m. So I'm hoping to do some more live streams in the morning and in the evenings. At least when I leave the shipper in the evenings, it's really nice because I can pull out and I've still got street lights like by the city. And then once I get out in the darkness, I can kind of, cut off the live stream. But anyway, we're going to hit the road, head back, and I got lots of exciting things to talk about. As you can see here, I've got my little double-headed Snoopy on the dash. He's just waiting for the sun to come out so he can blow his head some more. So anyway, good morning everybody. I hope this camera doesn't shake too bad because this is a freight shaker. There's not much I can do about it. So I just learned to kind of live with it. But anyway, as you can see behind me, I have the truck all decorated for Halloween. I have Snoopy in front of me. I have our little temporary resident ghost. Actually, the ghost is more of a transient at this point. Yeah, this is our transient ghost. And I have some Halloween garland, I guess you could call it. Garland or tinsel. Which is it? Tell me in the comments because last year at Christmas time, I had like the biggest family argument over what it's called. I said, get out the garland. Or get out, what did I say? I said, get out the garland. And somebody's like, that's tinsel. I'm like, it's garland. It's tinsel. It's garland. What is it? The package said tinsel garland. So I think that kind of sufficed the answer for a while. But anyway, tell me in the comments, is it tinsel or is it garland? But anyway, whatever it is up in the truck. And I am celebrating Halloween early because I'm not driving on Halloween. Hallelujah. So I'll be at home in a cute, sexy Halloween costume. Which I'm very excited about. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I absolutely love about driving a semi-truck, and one of the things that intrigued me in the first place was, other than the fact that I was in law enforcement, don't get me wrong, love the job, police, fire, it was a combination department, so I got to play firewoman and policewoman at the same time. Sometimes multiple times in the same night. Like, we would race back to the station in the police car, like lights and siren, just so that we could go into the fire bay, get in some bunker gear, and hop on a fire truck, and then take it to a fire call. Yeah, that's how it worked out there. It was pretty stinking cool. It was very unique. But nevertheless, there was a lot of politics. So got so sick of somebody over your shoulder all the time, nitpicking every little thing, you know, can't pull this person over, you can pull this person over, but this one's related to this person, so if you pull this one person over, then you're gonna get, you know, in trouble with the lieutenant. Really, I hated that crap. So the thought of the open road was just amazing to me. So that was one of my first intrigues, like, to wanting to get into trucking. Also, I don't know, I've always liked tackling things that seem like a challenge. I just love challenges. I do. Whether it's like paranormal investigation, it's like challenging something that everybody's afraid of, or whether it's chasing a tornado in severe storm season, or, you know, whether it's doing a vehicle rescue in the middle of a lightning and hailstorm on the side of the road. You know, whatever it is, I am like up for the challenge. The bigger, the badder, the better. And so one of the things that I also liked about the trucks is they're big. They're big. It is a challenge. And hey, you have beautiful open road. For instance, just look at this view out here. It is absolutely gorgeous this morning. Yeah, this is my window seat in trucking. As a truck driver, this is your window seat. This is your office window all day long. It's amazing. There are days that I think they actually pay me to do this. It's like wonderful. Then there are days it's like, shoot me now, freaking shoot me now, end it all. Anyway, no, it's just the same as many jobs out. But nevertheless, one of the huge perks, other than this beautiful view of the open road and the lack of politics, you know, dispatchers, they aren't over your shoulder constantly and nagging at you as long as you're making your ETAs. If you're getting there on time or early and they know they can trust you, they leave you alone. And that's what I love about trucking. But one of the big things that drew me to trucking in the first place was that I love to learn things. Ever since I was tiny, I was always like, what is this? This sparkles. What is that? You know? I don't know. I've just always been interested in learning about life, and here in the last like 10 years, business, you know, getting into business, contracting, trucking, everything, YouTube. So one of the things that I absolutely love about truck driving is you're out here like 10 hours, 11 hours of driving, right? You have all this time in the cab with your AUX cord that you can plug into your phone. You can listen to audiobooks. You can listen to YouTube documentaries. You can learn about life, and you could just learn so much. One of the first things I thought was, oh my God, if I'm in the truck driving 11 hours a day, just listening to like book after book after book, oh my God, I can tackle like books every week, you know? And so behind the scenes, that's what I do. I listen to a lot of books, I listen to a lot of documentaries, and I get excited about it. What do you think about that, Snoop Snoop? Oh yeah, Snoopy's egg. So one of the things that I was learning about this week was I was studying Descartes. Yes, Rene Descartes. The Descartes, the philosopher. You may have heard of him, you may have not. Anyway, famous philosopher. He had so much knowledge that's still applicable today in anything, like multiple areas of life. So one of the things that I was learning, one of the interesting things about Descartes that could apply to a truck driver, that could apply to a businesswoman, businessman, or just everyday life decisions, is one of the things that Descartes realized is that there's so many things he's confused about. Like, there's so many hardcore decisions. It's like, well, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could go over here. Hey, just like trucking, you know, I could go with this company, but this company has this benefit, but it's really close to this company, but this one actually pays more. But then again, you have to run more hours or have less home time. You know, you're balancing all these things out, right? And even in everyday life decisions. So one of the things that Descartes realized is he quickly realized how much he didn't know. So And he truly didn't know. It's just like a guessing game in this whole thing called life. So he's like, you know, I'm guessing at this, I'm guessing at that. Anyway, he asked himself, what is it that I actually know for sure? Like 100%, no doubt, what do I know for certain? And let's start from there and build on that, you know, and go from there and make smart decisions. So he quickly realized there's not a whole lot he knows for certain about life, but there were a few things. So one of the things that he did when it came to a decision, especially decisions that he didn't know for certain what the outcome was going to be, because we're all in this game that's kind of like a big game of chess. It all comes down to chance and calculated risk, right? Everything you do, whether it's in trucking, whether it's in business, whether it's booking loads, whether it's in logistics, everything we do in life is calculated risk. Dating, you know, diets to an extent, because you got to calculate, you know, am I going to be successful at this diet? Can I stick to it? You know, is this something I can follow through with? But even with the case of like a diet, for instance, there are certain things we know. We know that there are certain macros that our body can burn, like certain amount of calories, carbs, proteins that we can process, fats that we can store, etc., etc. There's only so much that our body can process. There is a limit. So if Descartes were here on a diet, one thing Descartes would do with his technique and what he figured out, which is brilliant, I might add, and has excited me about making so many decisions in life, is that when it comes to like dieting, I have recently figured out, okay, my body can burn this many calories, and that would be my BMR. So I figured out how to calculate my BMR rate, which, without boring you with a long set of details, it's basically just how many calories my body can burn just sitting in the truck, not doing anything, on a daily basis to maintain my weight. Once I know that information, I already know that it takes 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. So that tells me that if I go in a calorie deficit through the week of 3,500 calories from my total weekly calories, guess what? I will lose a pound. That is one thing I know for sure. So I learned that from Descartes. Who knew? Descartes could give dieting advice. Amazing. Anyway, so this same principle can be used for so many areas in life, whether it's making a decision in truck driving or whatever, is ask yourself, what do I know about the situation? What do I know for sure? And then for the areas that we don't know, Descartes came up with a brilliant solution. Like, for instance, if it's a job change, you're thinking about going with a certain trucking company. You're making, say, $50,000 a year. You see these ads, the thing's advertising $80,000 a year, but the training is extensive. You don't know if you're going to like it. You don't know if you're going to stick through with it. And there is a possibility that the position may or may not be there next year. But it pays $80,000. You're only making $50,000 now. Here would be Descartes' solution that could help you make a great decision in truck driving or business or any decision you make in life. You can apply it the same everywhere. And that is, you ask yourself, what are the actual chances that this job's going to work out? And you put that into a percentage marker. So for instance, I'm making $50,000 a year. I get a job offer for $80,000 a year. But more than likely, it's going to be a 50-50 chance of actually working out, because there's too many unknowns. I really don't know if it's up my alley. I don't know if I'm going to like it, for one. Number two, there is a huge element of risk. The job may not work out to begin with in the long run, over the next year. So I figure a good estimate on this job would be there's about a 50-50 chance that this job's going to work out. Should I take it? So what you would do is you take that dollar figure of that job, that $80,000, and you calculate it by 50%, because that's your element of risk, right? So you calculate it by 50%. which gives you what? $40,000. That means if you make decisions based on a 50% risk at that price point marker, it is not worth your time to even investigate that job, because that brings you to an average pay of $40,000. Yeah, this job might work out. It might work out for a few months at a higher pay rate, but with odds of 50-50, in the long run, over the next 10 years, you're going to average like $40,000. You're going to average less with that job, or with trying to get jobs like that with those types of odds, than you are just sitting where you're at making $50,000. You're actually much richer staying where you're at. And so it's pretty cool. You can ask yourself that about so many things. You know, another one, let's say it's a job that pays $120,000, you know, and there's about a 70% chance that that job's going to work out. You know, obviously it's going to calculate to higher odds that you're going to make it. It's going to work out, you know, plus factoring in other elements of that. You know, you can break it down into subcategories to where, like, you ask, am I going to be happy? What's my regret factor? Like, what percentage of possibility is there that I'm going to regret not making this decision? Because that adds up to the whole equation. So that is one of the tips that I learned this week that I thought I'd share with you guys, was you can literally take a decision, break it down to its basic elements. Ask yourself, what do I know for certain about the situation? And then for the things you don't know, simply ask yourself, what are the odds of the job working out? What is the price point? Calculate that to a percentage. That'll give you an average price marker. And if that's lower than you make now, or about the same, and it's just a bunch of odds, I would turn down that decision every time. I would turn down that opportunity. But not only the price point, you can also break that down, like I said, into a regret factor. Like, you know, it's something that I've always wanted to do, maybe like a television opportunity or something like that. You know, let's say that I've got this opportunity, pays $60,000 a year. There's a 90% chance of it working out. Like, it is like a slam dunk. It's up my alley. It's something I would love to do. It's a great offer. And, you know, you average that out with the price point, it comes up to $50,000 a year on average. So you're matching what you make now. But it's something you've always wanted to do. But you're just not sure what the television life would be like. So you're almost afraid to take a chance on it, right? At the same time, there is this factor called the regret factor. And you have to ask yourself, would I regret down the road not trying to take that challenge, not trying to take that opportunity? And if that regret factor is 100%, if you say, absolutely, no doubt, I would regret not doing this, you need to take a chance on it. Because that is a huge element of every decision in your life, is what is your regret factor? What are the odds of it actually happening? What about the happiness factor? Do you think you're truly going to be happy with that decision? You know, the price point may be high, but if you're gonna, and you can even combine that with like the regret factor in the opposite way. Like, are you really going to regret this decision? Like, are you going to kick yourself in the ass 6 months down the road because you made a stupid decision? You know, so you got to factor in that percentage too. You know, what are the chances that you're really going to like this? You can, guys, this is so cool. You can actually break down every decision in your life and business down to a percentage marker. Write it down. What's the offer worth? What's the chances it'll work out? Calculate a price point. Ask yourself, what are the odds that I'm going to be happy with this? You know, if it's 70%, write 70%. What are the odds that I'm going to regret this decision if I don't make this decision? Write that down. If it's 100%, 100%. Add all of that up at the end of that profile you create on that decision you're going to make. and you will have an overwhelming answer. I mean, if you're going to look at this as like 100%, 80%, 70%, 90%, it's like, girl, what are you waiting for? Jump on the opportunity. Get out there and take advantage of this thing. But if you start calculating these things and you realize high price point, but high odds you're not going to be happy. It's not really up your alley. You're just taking it because of the money. You don't think you're going to be happy. You're probably going to regret it. You start putting all those things into percentage markers and realize that, all of a sudden you realize that is a really bad decision. And you can do it off of those percentage markers. Anyway, I actually did this with Jordan the other day. And one of the things that he absolutely hates, we both do, is unexpected call-offs. They have a turnover rate because I used to be a supervisor for Jordan's company, and they contract with the shipping facility where I run my freight. But I used to work in security. I used to be a supervisor. They have the worst turnover. I won't name the company, but they are the worst for like politics and burning people out. People always quit. It's a constant mess. There's never scheduling coverage. It's predictable. And this was going back to like 2008 when I was a supervisor with them. So Jordan's running into the same thing with his job, right? Here recently, he had half his staff quit, including his account manager. There was no freaking manager. He comes into work like no management, like half the people are gone and like there's nobody to cover shifts. And the schedule's coming out like you're gonna have to work 24/7. I mean, it was insane. So anyway, this has been like the worst inconvenience for both of us, is the constant call-offs. It's depressing, it's frustrating, it's a constant thing. People constantly quitting. So I asked Jordan recently, I was like, okay, let's use Descartes' philosophy here, shall we? Okay, what are the chances over the next month that somebody is going to call off or quit so that you're going to have to come in unexpectedly on your day off and cover a shift and sacrifice your day off? He goes, oh, that's easy, 100%. Okay, 100% chance there. Okay, what percentage marker, out of 1% to 100, how much, with 100 being like the most you hate this, how much do you hate coming in on your day off to cover crap that should have been taken care of by the company? He goes, 100%. I'm like, okay, so those two things, according to Descartes, tell you that over the next month, there is a 100% chance you're not going to be happy with your job. Yeah, it's that simple. So then, of course, the question becomes, okay, well, what do I do about it? You know, should I quit? Should I just quit my job? You know, and then, of course, we had to look at price points and everything else. Like, what are the chances that you're going to make X amount of dollars, which he gets paid good for what he does? What are the chances that you're going to be able to maintain that pay and your job position over the next month? 100%, you know, so you've got a good job, you got a good pay. What are the chances that you're going to be able to find another job that pays this and gives you the same benefits and will work with you to where normally you and your girlfriend, being me, have the same exact schedule and work hours every night? Very, very slim. So when we started calculating all those risks together, we realized that even though there's a 100% chance he's going to be pissed off with his job over the next month, it is still, in our current position, better for him to stay at the job where he's at right now. Because ultimately he's going to be happier with that decision and regret it more so if he tries to leave and takes the odds of something else not working out. Snoopy agrees. Anyway, guys, that's enough for now. I just wanted to give you a little motivation for your mornings. So I should call this like motivational mornings or something. Motivational mornings. I should make it into a tongue twister that I can't say, which probably wouldn't be very hard for this blonde. Yeah, sorry to say. Anyway, Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you enjoy your Halloween. I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when a video comes out. Don't miss another video. Don't miss another motivational morning. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.
There goes the same from my soul.